You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm glad that you've joined me. You know, we've had so many unethical and unmoral situations come up over the last few weeks and months, especially regarding the issue of sexual harassment. We see that Senator Franken, and then we see a Judge Moore, and then we see Charlie Rose as of yesterday, and we see a lot of different people. Even in the California State Assembly, we see that Paul Bocanegra, who is the majority whip of the assembly, having to resign, or not resign, but step down because of sexual harassment charges brought on by people. The problem that I see is that even in the House, or the House of Representatives, where Representative Conyers has a sexual harassment charge that he settled through a Shush, Slush fund set up in Congress that taxpayers are paying for. I'm sorry, but this is an issue that should be for and paid for by the individual charged, not by the American taxpayer. To me, that's absolutely asinine that we taxpayers do not know who has been paid out or who it was paid out for in this slush fund. And it's the first time that the American people even know that there's a sexual harassment slush fund set up in Congress. That should be dismantled right now. And Americans should be demanding, we want to know who has paid out of that slush fund. What parties were involved? You don't set up a slush fund or a shush slush fund in the House of Congress. Do they have one over in the Senate too that we don't know about? That is the problem, is that power corrupts individuals. It corrupts their minds in their decision making. It corrupts their minds in the hate that they have for certain people. It corrupts that they feel as though that they have the power to take advantage of other people. And that is the biggest issue. We have a government that has been corrupted. And they will go out and they will condemn other people and they will fight for women's rights, but at the same time, they are attacking women's rights by their actions. That is not how America was designed. What happened to the individual that went to Washington, D.C. to represent his constituents and to live by example for what politicians should do for their people? We don't see that. Look at McCain. Look at Senator Collins and all those people that are there, Senator Flake, who are not going by what is right for America, but by what is right for their political careers. They have so much hate built up inside them that they fight the American people and they fight the president because they hate him so badly. That is not ethical. They're not representing the president, they are representing you and me. But yet they stand up there looking like fools, and the American people get put to the side. And the needs and the wants and the demands of the American people get put to the side. So we have all these sexual harassment charges that keep coming out every single day. There's a new one. And a lot of this happened to these people while they were serving or on the job. I was looking at the definition of sexual harassment, and I just wanted to read it to you because I think it's important that we all understand what the terms are. So, sexual harassment is described as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal and physical conduct of sexual nature that tends to create a hostile or offensive work environment. And then it goes on to say that sexual harassment is a form of sex discrimination that occurs in the workplace. Persons who are the victims of sexual harassment may sue under Title V11 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The problem is that you don't see anybody suing. It seems as though they come out to the press or they make demands on the individuals that did the harassment, but nothing ever goes to court. No criminal charges are ever pressed. I haven't heard of one single one out of any of these women and men who have come out that they have been sexually harassed. I have not seen one single lawsuit, one single police file on the crime that was conducted by these individuals. So we as Americans are at fault also because we don't use this correct system to stop these people. If you are sexually harassed, you need to say something, you need to do something, you need to report it, and you need to file a lawsuit. That's all that you need to do. If you want to stop these people from continuing to do it, you need to stand up for yourself. And you need to do something. Look at Weinstein. For years and years and years, no one said anything. For over 30 years, no one said anything about Harvey Weinstein. Because no one had the moral or the ethical stance or gumption to get up and say something. They were all afraid that they might not get that next movie role. And the same thing in the halls of Congress, these people were threatened with their jobs. If you are sexually harassed, stand up and say something and do something, but just don't remain silent, because these people will continue to do it. Just as we see one accuser stands up and then another one and then another one. Pretty soon there's 20 people standing there, all been sexually harassed by this one individual that you did nothing about. So you need to stand up and do something. If you feel that you have a case, if you feel that you have been harassed, do something. Document it. But don't remain silent because these people continue to commit the crime. Not everybody has a slush fund like they have in Congress to pay off people who have been sexually harassed. So we need to take some action in order to stop this nonsense that we see going on in our nation's capital, and in state capitals, and in industry, and in business. You have to stand up and do something about it. Otherwise, you just help the problem get bigger and bigger and bigger. 30 years of saying nothing. 30 years of doing nothing. In the Harvey Weinstein case. And here we sit today with many, many people coming out saying, hey, we were sexually harassed also. And in Congress, people who were sexually harassed in their jobs. It's got to stop. But the only way it stops is if you do something. Stand up and do something. Take your country back. It's vital. This is Mike Lodge. I will talk with you soon. Stand up. Do something.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.